1. Here we go, chat. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Bring on the bots. We really want to see a quick rollout from these teams to take advantage of that point. We see it from Minnesota. Yeah, take the point very quickly.
Point, starting to gain those passive points. The Sentry also making its way to the maze.
Ooh, some shots exchanging from behind cover from both UTA robots. Looks like there's no drivetrain issues, but that hero is getting bullied by Minnesota Standard. Minnesota Hero pushing forward. We have parts on the field from Minnesota Hero. I hope that's not critical. Ooh, Minnesota pushing back UTA's Hero, not letting him gain any ground. UTA Standard not moving.
The Hero for UTA firing a few projectiles. The Standard only firing 2. Oh, there we go. If there was a jam on the Standard on the side of UTA, it has been fixed.
Ooh, yeah, that overpower on UTA's Hero puts him in a really bad spot. UMN really able to capitalize on that. UMN pushing UTA Standard, trying to bring him down, not moving as well.
The Hero for UMN looking down at the floor, never a good sign.
And
takes
he's
a
down to low
huge
health.
amount of damage.
Yeah.
And now both teams going to
Hero.
retreat. UTA overheated. They've got blurry vision. So close to their home base that will heal up if they enter that RFID zone.
Not sure what's going on. They are able to spin, but it looks like they're not translating back to their reload zone to heal. UMN Hero back now on the point. UMN Standard also not looking, well, they're not on the point.
Oh, that was a very fast move from the Hero from UTA. Overpowered. Chassis shuts down and taken out quickly by UMN.
Interesting that they didn't go back to their reload zone and instead opted to push forward into Minnesota's Hero, allowing them to secure the kill. I wonder, looks like they have better control of their movement now. We didn't see them go back into their reload zone until just now, so UTA really got a lot of ground to cover now.
UTA healing that Hero back up. It'll make its way back to the center of the field shortly. The Standard perhaps having some drivetrain issues. Was able to make it out of the zone and to a good position, peeking the corner, but has not been able to maneuver very much since. Perhaps, as you identified, perhaps an issue with their drivetrain, but is launching projectiles successfully.
Minnesota moving out now instead of back to the reload zone. They're still very low health. Interesting push from UTA there. UTA Hero backing off with the absence of their Standard. UTA really needs to make some ground here, but they don't have enough time. This first round's probably going to go to Minnesota.
And UMN holding the point the entire game, a 200-0 take round 1.
Yeah, really impressive rollout from Minnesota there. We've seen that pretty much all day yesterday, and every match we've seen them in, they roll out very quickly, take that point, hold that point from any advancements. We saw they were making sure they knew where UTA's robots were, pushing them back into their reload zone when able. I hope UTA's Standard is all right. I know they pulled that technical timeout. I don't know.
Yeah, both bots seemed functional. They were able to drive, they were able to shoot, which is great. Love to see that from UTA. Hopefully round 2, to be able to work out any kinks that they were trying to fix during the technical timeout. As we see, the round MVP will be the Hero from the side of Northstar. Well-deserved. Both of those bots performing very well from the red side. Over on the blue side, Air 404, they've got 3 minutes to take a peek at these robots. You can see them going back to the side of that Standard, battery pulled out, chatting with the referee. The Hero was navigating well, had a few overpowers. That is fairly common among some of our newer teams. UT Arlington making their way into 3v3 very recently. So excited to see them here, glad to see them bringing multiple bots that are ready and can pass inspection. One of the solutions that has been common for teams that are this young is to tap instead of hold.
Yeah.
So because you do a lot of your testing in your lab with a remote control, you can give gradual input, right? So you can drive forward slowly, and then you plug it into a computer, and all of a sudden your W key is digital, it's binary, it's either on or it's off, and holding down that W key makes you go pretty dang fast and can trip the overpower alarm, which is going to shut your chassis down, make you a sitting duck for a few seconds.
Yeah.
So what we've seen teams do in the past is they'll just tap the W key over and over and over, which makes your driving a little bit jerky.
Yeah.
But reduces the amount of time you spent overpowered.
Yeah, that torque, getting full torque onto your electric motor takes a lot of voltage, a lot of current, and that does reach that power limit very quickly. But we also, I've seen teams more recently use the remote joystick in their left hand while using their mouse to aim, allowing them to get more precise movements, which we've seen these robots are quick, really quick.
Great option.
So precise movements is really nice to have for those teams that are able to, and some even have custom controllers built specifically to permit that that precise movement joystick style.
Exactly.
UTA, I really like seeing them maintenance their robots. Whenever they're in there, inside their robot, all they do, they pull out panels. The panels are all quick release. Everything's modular. Everything's accessible. When they are in a pinch like they are now, they're able to access whatever they need. They don't. I don't think any of them are holding a screwdriver. They don't need it. They could just get in there, find what's wrong. All the wires are accessible. It's really cool. Really cool to see. Another technical timeout looks like from UTA.
A lot of discussion with the referee about this timeout. Not sure if we're going to be able to find out what it is regarding. Taking a peek at my own match notes, I don't think it's there yet, but hopefully they're able to get it resolved. Chatting with the ref usually means it's some kind of issue with their robot communicating either with the referee system or with the game server itself. Perhaps it's difficult to see because of the robot's form factor, but we should see a flashing light underneath this robot indicating that the RFID card is communicating to the pads on the ground. So the RFID cards in the ground communicating with the reader on the robot.
And I can see that RFID flashing here. I'm not sure if that is the issue. We know it's not the drivetrain because we saw it spinning pretty consistently, although I don't know if a robot with OmniDrive can spin with just 3 wheels. So I think you're right. I think it might be something to do with communication maybe, something to do with either control logic or with the server perhaps. I'm not sure. Not sure what could cause the specific issues UTA was having last round.
Could be all sorts, right? If your VTM is not transmitting video, that might lead to you driving some and then stopping and then staying there for a really long time because you can't see. And then, I mean, that could be one option.
Yeah, we see some very aggressive troubleshooting from UTA. It's very good to see they're diligent about fixing this issue. I really like to see that from team. You know, they're putting their all into this. We see that in the driving very easily with how they drive the robots. You can see the training, but here and in the pits as well, where we don't usually get to see, watching the robots build these things up, perform maintenance, perform these hot fixes, shows the diligence of these engineers. Some quick checks on the Hero as well, just making sure nothing's changed over there.
That purple glow you can see on the standard is their UV modules. It charges the projectiles, makes them glow when they're launched. Makes it easier for us to see on stream. Also makes it easier for the drivers to see from their VTM. You can see the team now messing with the 42mm projectiles from that Hero robot as well. I'm glad. I know they were able to purchase projectiles and drive well last game, but had some early jamming issues, I think. See our referee carrying what seems to be a small brown box that does indicate a referee module that might be swapped.
Could have been referee issues. That would explain why they had all the functionality they did, but they weren't moving. Maybe they weren't confident in moving because one of the referee systems that tell the driver what is going on with the robot wasn't functioning as they expected. That could be what was causing that.
Hey, Alibaba0427, thanks for the follow. Chat, we are in round 2 of Northstar versus Error 404. Getting a look now at that Error 404 standard, which is getting rapidly repaired on the field in a technical timeout of their final round. I believe of the, no, not of the tournament. Error 404 will be back this afternoon at 2:50 p.m.
versus the RHIT, which we saw them last match. A couple of the robots were jamming as well, so Error 404, if RHIT doesn't fix those issues, could put up a serious fight against the Thornbots. Looks like we have a screwdriver now. You know, if UTA doesn't need a screwdriver for their panels and for most of their quick release components, I have to wonder what mission critical component requires them to break out a screwdriver. It looks like they might be taking off the part of the yaw of the gimbal, the left and right axis of that 2-axis gimbal.
Yeah, I think they might be taking the head off.
Yeah.
Going straight up with it. It'll be interesting to see. There's this, that box is small. It might be, and it's very vertical. This might be a VTM issue.
Yeah, which interesting that they need to take off the head for this. I don't know. I don't know the nuances of their design, but also interesting how calm they are in repairing this. They're confident in where they need to, what they need to remove, where they need to get inside their robot to take this apart and replace this component.
Slow is smooth and smooth is fast. You see them working on both sides of the robot at once.
Oh wait. Yeah, they're in the drivetrain. They're looking at one of the wheels. Maybe one of their wheels is having a... There's so many things going on right now. Really hard to get a look at what is precisely being repaired.
Excellent flashlight holding from one of the teammates.
Oh, yeah.
A difficult skill that most of us have yet to master.
Much to our father's dismay. You can see that turret, despite having plenty of room to lean back further, not leaning back further because of what we call hard stops. They have designed into the gimbal's pitching mechanism these mechanical stopping points that don't allow the turret to lean back farther than they intend or farther forward than they intend, which can prevent catastrophic software issues or other mechanical mishaps. So good to see that foresight in this design. Very intuitive design also by UTA all around. I really like the design of these
They've done a great job. You can see a belt-driven yaw, a belt-driven pitch, making sure that they are maximizing the strong suits of the motors that they're using.
Yeah, they've really kept it simple as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, making sure not to over-design for complex functions, but complex assembly. I like the sandwich pitch system, the firing mechanism, the shooting mechanism. It's got those standoffs holding those two plates together right underneath the hopper. Makes for very accessible wires, very accessible assembly. If they need to remove anything, it's all there. We see that is pivotal in their design philosophy.
Because it's a referee system, there is potential that this will be a referee technical timeout, which does not have the same time limitations that a team technical timeout has.
Yeah. It also does not come out of the team's personal technical timeout count, which is nice because that means Arrow 404 going into the Thornbots match should have a technical timeout of their own if they haven't already pulled that second technical timeout here.
All right, I'm getting confirmation via Lightning that the issue was a blue VTM and speed module.
Ooh.
So the speed monitor module is what checks the projectile velocity. And then also the VTM is the video transmission module. So that's what's feeding the live feed from the robot to the driver, allowing them obviously to navigate the field, identify opponents, etc.
Yeah. It is also the module that connects the robot as a network node to the server. In addition to giving the driver visual, it also communicates referee data to and from the server. And enables the game. All the referee modules enable this game one way or another, but the VTM is the comm link of communication.
Interestingly enough, neither of these modules being, quote unquote offline, kicked the robot off.
Yeah.
In that previous round.
Yeah.
And typically, if one of these was truly like fully not communicating, it would have an error, a module fault, and then you'll start losing health or get ejected and or killed by the referee system. So hopefully it's a fairly fixable issue, but they're diving pretty deep. You can see some guts starting to get exposed here.
I mean, such critical modules. I think what's happening is I think they're trying to find specifically the referee wires and get them disconnected so they can get that referee daisy-chained connection and free that speed monitor module and that video transmitter module so that they can replace them. Interesting to see what they're doing on the chassis, though. I wonder if they're finding out which line is which, maybe. I'm not really sure what chassis work is being done here because VTM, the video transmission module, and the speed monitor module, both located right next to each other on the very nose of this robot.
The hands speeding up on Blue Standard 3. It looks like they're closing and patching. I'm paying close attention to see if we get visual feedback from the driver as they try and communicate with their pit crew. That would indicate to us that the VTM is working well.
Looks like Arrow 404 checking out their yaw, making sure everything is centered, making sure no offsets have changed.
Looks like the driver is responding to the hand signs.
Yep.
So the VTM should be all right.
She looks like she's getting ready to retighten the head after. Oh, looks like they might have already done it. Never mind.
All
might
right.
be good to go here.
Error 404, UTA doing a great job of getting those fixes in, keeping their heads level. And now both bots seem functional before round 2 versus UMN.
So it might not be that they needed replacing, but rather that the wires were having some faulty connections. But it looks like that's been resolved here. Hopefully we don't see those issues exacerbated in these matches. I know they are violently been driven to and from in matches past. Could be that just got jostled around enough to knock it loose. But they seem confident that it's in. So hopefully we'll get to see more aggression from UTA now. Those robots both driving great as we saw last match.
17 seconds before round 2 of UMN versus UTA. All right, chat. The first round going the way of UMN, but I mean, frankly, if your standard couldn't see the whole time, it makes a lot of sense that that'd be a very tough match.
An understandable round loss if one of your robots, one of your critical robots, unable to maneuver, leaving that hero alone. But here we go as we get into this match. Here we go. Minnesota versus UT Austin, Arlington. 3, 2, 1.
Bring on the bots. All right, keeping our eyes on UTA in their home base, that resupply zone. Their standard makes it back out to the same corner they went to the first time. UMN rolling out all as 3.
Ooh. UTA getting hammered by Hero pretty early on from Minnesota. Minnesota putting some Sentry rounds on UTA. Sentry now in the center point. That did not happen last field. He's pushing him. We have overspeed from Minnesota Sentry. He cannot fire for, I believe, 15 seconds after firing too quickly. However, Minnesota not putting rounds on UTA's standard from their standard or their Hero. Hero putting a couple shots out, but it looks like overpower for UTA. UTA Hero moving now, not able to purchase ammo. Oh, and the hopper emptied all over the field from UTA. That's the disadvantage of not having a lid on that. It looks like they might be catching. Minnesota still holding ground, though. Oh, finally the Hero's up, able to body block for standard, but he's draining health quickly.
Yeah, unfortunately, the standard for UTA doesn't appear to be able to fire projectiles. And the Hero will be taken down.
That was
huge. Their Hero without purchased projectiles taken out in the middle of the map. UMN capitalizing their Sentry, firing projectiles, having some overspeed, but that's a pretty easy fix. Doing a great job of identifying enemy targets. We'll see if it snaps on. It does, with a little bit of flare. Uh-oh, that white box, I believe, is a remote control receiver. That is a receiver for a DJI.
Oh yeah, it's hanging
remote
loose.
Control hanging by a literal thread from this Sentry.
Yeah,
I hope they have an extra because I have my doubts on if it survives a match.
Yeah, lots of robots on this field doing overspeed. We see standard now from Minnesota getting an overspeed alert. We've seen several power limiting issues. Minnesota Hero pushing Minnesota standard, UTA Hero, sorry, getting about quarter health down from both Minnesota robots, pincering it. Overspeed from both 17mm Minnesota bots, not able to put any rounds on that disabled chassis. UTA Hero finally getting back up, but overspeed again from both of those robots. It's a real issue. The Hero secures the kill, though.
UTA doing a good job with their Hero, finally purchasing projectiles, firing 4 of those projectiles on target, getting some shots on goal, but UMN will take round 2 and the match versus Error 404.